Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. For those who don't know me, my name is Ruben Arndell and this is Dotted Diary, where we spill the tea on personal finance, self-development and more. As you all may know, this is a personal finance channel with a hint of self-development. And a big part of personal finance is finding ways to get a bigger bang for your buck. So currently I'm in Mexico and I decided to make a series of videos showing you guys the most affordable and best ways to navigate a vacation in Mexico. You can expect videos on transportation, food, activities, and the dark side that people don't really talk about. In this video today, I will be talking about the most affordable ways to move around Mexico with the focus on the Yucatan region. The Yucatan region refers to places such as Tulum, Cancun, Playa del Carmen, and places around that area. Hello guys, this is a little quick intermission and we'll get back to the video in a minute. I just wanted to apologize to you guys for the reflection in my glasses so you can't really see my eyes, and I promise to take this into consideration in the next video. Enjoy the rest of the video. Okay, so let's start with the video. I assume that most people that come to Cancun or Tulum on vacation come in through the Cancun International Airport. After the baggage claim, you come out to the main hall of the airport where you will see ATM machines, different booths for car rentals, different shuttle booths and stuff of that nature. I would always advise you to take money out if you can at the airport first, so that you have an amount of cash on hand. The first thing that you will notice is that these salespeople in these booths are going to try to get your attention and try to convince you to either rent a car or stuff of that nature. So I would advise you to ignore them, because to be honest, renting a car in Cancun or Tulum is really expensive and you get a lot of ghost fees that people don't really talk about. The ghost fees, when you look online for a car, if you want to rent a car, it seems quite cheap, but as soon as you book it, when you come on the location, you will see that there are many ghost fees that eventually run up the price at the end of the day. So I would advise not to do that. If you're with a big family, I understand that, and I would understand if you want to rent a car, and that's totally fine. It's your choice. But this video is more focused on an affordable way for you to move around Mexico. So I will leave out renting a car out of that equation because that's not affordable. So first I will start with the jewel of Mexico, which is the ADO bus. It's super convenient, easy to understand, and also very comfortable. The ADO bus, you can either buy a ticket at the booth. There is always a booth on the airport, so you can go to the booth and buy a ticket, or either you could buy it online. I tend to buy tickets online because I find it more convenient than standing in the line at a bus station, at the ADO bus station, or even at the airport booth. If you want to save more time, I would advise you to buy it online. It's quite simple actually. You just fill in your destination that you want to depart from, you fill in your destination that you want to arrive at, and the time, and they will show you many different options of buses that you can take, and then you would also see the price at the end, which is quite affordable. It's super affordable. Keep in mind that the ADO bus only takes you to big towns, such as for example Cancun, Tulum, or Playa del Carmen. It doesn't take you to the smaller towns around these big locations. And I understand there are people that will still want to take a taxi, and that's totally okay, but keep in mind that not every taxi is good. As soon as you exit the airport, you will most likely be approached by different taxi companies, people trying to convince you to let them take you to where you want to go, and it's usually super overpriced. You can sometimes even pay upwards to 100 euros or dollars just to get into the city center. I got caught into that trap, so I am telling you this so you can avoid also getting caught up into it. Keep in mind, if you are coming to Cancun, if you're landing quite late at night, the options are very limited. There's a big chance that you won't be able to take the bus, for example, the ADO bus. You can miss the last one. And then at that point in time, it's hard for you to get a normal taxi, an affordable one, and you might come to a situation in which you have to take what is available and which might be the more expensive taxi. You can always negotiate a price, because at first they tried to charge me around $100 to get into the city center, but I managed to get it down to $80 with me and my partner. That was literally our last resort because we came in quite late. If you decide to take a taxi and you're on time, there are affordable taxis. You have to literally look for the taxi cars with either a green stripe on it or a red stripe, and it can cost you, depends on the time of year that you go, probably like 600 pesos to get into the city center, which is like 20 minutes away. And as I said again, price can be negotiated. So if you are in these big towns like Cancun and Tulum, and say you want to get to a smaller town on the outskirts of those big towns, you can also choose the option of catching a colectivo. Colectivo is technically a smaller bus that literally picks up different people, and you could jump on and you pay a little fee, and it takes you to a smaller town. It also goes to big towns, don't get me wrong. You can get collectivos that also go from big town to big town, but this is an option for you to get to the smaller cities around those big towns, such as Cancun or Tulum. For example, if you're in Tulum and you want to go to Puerto Morales, you can catch a colectivo. But keep in mind that you'll be in this bus also with local people, so you also have to be comfortable enough to do that. Some people aren't, and you want to catch a taxi, that's also okay. I am personally comfortable enough to do that, and it's quite affordable, so that's a very good option. For commuting within the town itself, you have numerous of options. You can of course catch a taxi within the town, but it's more expensive. That's logical, I think. If you catch a taxi, it doesn't really matter where, it's quite pricey. And what I realized that there isn't Uber in Mexico, so it's not like you can actually use that. So you can catch a taxi from, for example, the bus station to your hotel. That's always an option. But what most people use here in Mexico, they either use a scooter or a bicycle. And there are many rentals around the towns. For example, if you are in Cancun, you can rent a scooter or a bike quite easily. In Tulum also. And you will see many people commuting around with bicycles and scooters, many tourists. And even many locals use bikes and scooters within the city. If you are looking to rent a bike or a scooter, you can either Google it, and then you will see many different companies that are renting bikes and scooters. If you're staying at the Airbnb, you can actually Airbnb a host if they have a contact by any chance for a bike or scooter rental, and probably they can get you a discount. But what I mentioned earlier about the taxis also apply for the bikes and scooters. You can always negotiate a price. For example, I found one online, a scooter rental, because I prefer to use a scooter. I usually always tend to use scooter every time I go on vacation, and the price started at 500 pesos a day, and I negotiated it down to 350 pesos a day. So you can literally negotiate with them and get a better price. And the next thing that I'm about to mention applies with many different things in Mexico also. If you can pay with cash, pay with cash, because many times when you pay with your card, they charge a transaction fee, and that's like upwards to 5% or more. For example, if you're renting a scooter or a bike, in many cases you have to pay a fee for that, literally, to use your card. So I would advise you to pay with cash if you can. Nextly, the road infrastructure. There are locations, if you're in the more touristic areas, for example, like the hotel zones or stuff like that, it can be that the roads might be better, but in many cases, the roads are not the best. There are usually holes, or you usually have dirt roads with big gaps and stuff like that. So keep in mind, if you're not that experienced with riding on a scooter, then a bike might be the better option for you. And it's also more cheaper than a scooter automatically. But if you can use a scooter, you're gonna have to learn to navigate those different things really, really good, especially when it rains. And it rains is really chaotic on the roads, and sometimes you have big puddles. I've even had to walk through puddles and turn off my bike and just walk through certain puddles before, because it didn't make sense to ride through it because I couldn't see. And you literally want to see always on those roads because there are many holes at times. And last but not least, the law enforcement in terms of using a bike or a scooter. Keep in mind that if you're following the rules, if you're planning to use a scooter, you just have to make sure follow the rules, always wear a helmet, always have your driver's license with you, and also make sure you have the contact of the rental on speed dial, because sometimes you need to contact them. There is automatically a language barrier, especially if you're not really that good in Spanish. It's always convenient to have someone that you can contact in order to communicate with them. For example, the rental of where you rent the scooter from. I have heard cases in which people had to pay a little sum of money also to the police officers, you know, to get them off of their backs. I have personally never experienced it, and I have encountered officers quite frequently during this vacation so far, and it's never been a problem. If you follow the rules and you respect the country and the rules, it usually goes quite well. Yeah, so I guess that's all I have to mention in terms of the best ways to move around Mexico and the most affordable ways. And I hope this video managed to help you guys avoid unnecessary costs on your vacation and save a lot of money, because that's also important for personal finance. And look out for my upcoming videos, because I will be posting, as I said earlier, about other aspects about Mexico in terms of being there on vacation, what you can do to avoid certain costs and to save a lot of money. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. I'm out.